Sunday this week, I was at a conference, and it was the beginning of my week, and yet it felt like already the end of the week because I had just been so busy doing so many things, preparing for things, doing things, organizing things, working at things. And on Sunday, I went to this conference, and the director of Nefesh Yehudi, Yael Zahavi, she was saying about how she's not balanced, but she's constantly in a state of balancing. She's balancing her work with her family with her work. It's the act of a Jewish woman who's trying to always do and find that balance. You know, there are days when I'm like, where is there more time? Can I just stretch myself just a little bit more? And I had the next day, a day like that on Monday, where I was trying to stretch so much, trying to find where can I find more time. I knew how to go to the supermarket. My day was packed, literally packed. And I said, okay, I have 20 minutes. 20 minutes to do a big grocery shopping for 8 people. And I realized that, you know what, I couldn't stretch myself anymore. I literally was thinking, when can I go? When should I go? What time of the night or day do I have that I could go to my usual supermarket, which is a bigger one, which is a less expensive one. And it's for sure takes more time. And I said, you know, I just can't do it. I can't stretch myself. And I went with my 20 minutes of time that I had rushing. I went to the supermarket that was just 2 blocks down. And that's more expensive. And I was there, and I thought to myself, wow, this is actually self-care. How is it self-care? Because I exist. I'm taking care of myself by not rushing and running to somewhere else. Okay, I'm still rushing, actually. I'm still running. But I realized that my self-care is saying that, you know what, Elana, you're worth that little bit more of spending that money. Not stretching yourself so thin. Finding the balance, or at least trying to balance. Finding it, being the process of balancing. Balancing the work and the family, the effort, and emunah and belief. Taking a deep breath, and I'm just trying to find my balance. And then later that night, which was just very interesting that it was the same day, she's almost 6, she says to us at dinner time, you know what, I'm going to tell you guys about the Parsha now, and not in Shabbat. So we said, okay. She tells us it's Parsha Mishpatim. And how does the Parsha start? She tells us is there was a man, and he was very poor, and he stole, but yet he didn't have the money to pay back what he stole. And so therefore, he himself sold himself into slavery. My daughter tells us that after 7 years, this man who became an Eved Ivri, he's set free. But you know what? He doesn't want to be free. And so he says, no, it's good here. I want to stay with my master, or maybe with this new life that I have, this new wife that I have, these children that I have. I want to stay. I don't want to be free. So the Torah says, my daughter tells us, that you're supposed to take this man, you stand him opposite the mezuzah by the door, and you put a big hole in his ear. So I asked her, I said, it's very interesting to put a hole in the ear. Did you ask, well, do you know why? Did you ask the Mora why? And she said, no, you don't ask questions. I said, no, Mommy, we ask questions. Now, mind you, I've read the commentaries. I know what they say. I was asking. I wanted to hear what she had to say. She just said she didn't have to say, which made me start to think about, what is this with the ear? You know, in Hebrew, the word for ear is ozen. Ozen, meuzenet. Meuzenet means to be balanced. A person who is acting like a slave, either because they are driving themselves, working so hard, or at anything that they do, thinking that they control it. I can just do, and I'm in control, and there's no God here, you know. I'm just the one who's totally in control, and I'm controlling the situation, and this person who doesn't have the money, and therefore even comes to steal, because they so much want to be in control of getting the money. That person is a slave. Even before they're a slave, they're a slave. And then the person who says, you know what? They're in charge. They're the ones who are making me angry. They're the ones to blame. It's always a person who's like finding the fault in the other. The person who's unhappy because it's the food, or because it's the weather. It's because of this circumstance. You know what? That person's also a slave. And to the slave, you put a hole in their ear and you say to them, you are not balanced. To go to one extreme or another extreme, to think that either you're totally in control or you're blaming and putting control into somebody else. No, the Torah tells us, Hashem is the only one in control. Hashem's the only one running the show. And what are we doing? We're in a state of balance all the time. Balancing the family, balancing the work, balancing this, the outside, balancing the inside, balancing our bodies with our souls, We're in a constant state of just trying to balance. And that's all it is. It's just trying to find the balance. Getting back to yourself, taking a deep breath, dropping the shoulders, knowing I don't have to rush and run to that next breath. I can still breathe. I will still be alive. I won't die if I take a slower breath. Knowing that self-care is about that, yes, I actually exist. That I have to take care of myself in order to care. I have to have a self in order to care for everybody else. It's about the art of balancing. B'ezrat Hashem, we should all be balanced. Trying to, at least if we can't be balanced, at least be in the art and the act of balancing.